For Comedy Hype News, I'm Symphony Thompson. On Friday, it was announced that Dame Dash's 33% stake in Roca-Fella Records will be auctioned off later this month. Hot 97 reports this judgment comes after a failed film partnership with producer Josh Weber, who filed the lawsuit. Now, when The Breakfast Club reported the story, the show's co-host DJ Envy and Charlemagne would go on to say that the situation is unfortunate for Dash. Some would point out that this is the same man who went on The Breakfast Club several years prior on how to be your own boss. Many thought it was interesting that Dame found himself in the same position he seemed to be warning people from. Today we have our Comedy Hype analysts, Lav Love and Marvin Hunter, on the show to talk about what led to the sale of Dame Dash's stake in Roca-Fella Records. But first, let's take a look at this clip.
Now, do you want a piece of hip-hop history? You got a chance to own a piece of hip-hop history. Damon Dash's 1/3 stake in Roca-Fella Records is going up for auction later this month. The United States Marshal Service will auction off his 33.3% in the company to satisfy a $823,000 debt that he is owed. Movie producer by the name of Josh Weber sued him and won, so he is owed $823,000. Dash has to let go of his stake in Roca-Fella Records. Now, the auction is set for August 29th at a hotel in Manhattan. Minimum bid will be $1.2 million, but bidders will be required to pay $240,000 deposit just to bid.
I'm sure, Jay-Z or Biggs, somebody's going to purchase that, right? Like, you're not going to just let that fall into just any old body's hands.
Well, you could, and this is the reason why. Well, you can't make any moves on your 33.3% stake. It has to be voted on. And of course, Jay and Biggs will probably vote the way that they want to vote, so you really have no voting rights. But not only that, after 35 years, artists are allowed to get their masters back. Means you will have this until about 2031, and then 2031, it goes back into the hands of Jay-Z. To spend $1.2 million, you might as well just wait till 2031. You get it back anyway.
No.
What?
Not necessarily.
What you mean?
You still don't want it to fall into the wrong hands because who knows what they could use it for.
But you have to vote on it because you only have a third of it. So whatever you want to do, it has to be voted on. And Biggs and Jay own the other percentage of it. You know, Dame, he didn't have the $823,000 to pay the lawsuit. He has to let that go.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Mm-hmm. Very unfortunate.
Now, of course, in addition to The Breakfast Club talking about it, a lot of people are in their comments talking a lot as well. I want to read some of those and come back and get you all's reaction. One user said, "Bruh, this is the same Dame Dash that came on The Breakfast Club scolding people on how to be a boss." Another user said, "Wasn't Dame telling y'all he was a boss and y'all were workers?" Lastly, another user says, "Bet he wishes he got a job now." I'm going to come to you first, Marvin. What are your thoughts? What's your reaction on this news?
I mean, in our community, we uplift people who are their own cheerleaders, but sometimes you can cheerlead a little bit too hard. You know what I'm saying? That's completely out of my financial pay grade, but in my experience, people who double down, quadruple down, what I'm saying, on stuff, a lot of times it might be a bunch of BS. There's a line in Shakespeare that says, "The lady doth protest too much," which means, you kind of overdoing it. Yeah. And then calls into question, do you really got it like that? You know what I'm saying? I'm a boss, okay, really? I don't know.
Yeah. Love, I'm interested to know, what are your reactions to it?
Why Dame couldn't just get the money from the account he made off the new Hove?
I seen some of those comments.
Why he can't? Because he made Hove. I thought he was going to make a new Hove.
Yeah.
On the interview with The Breakfast Club, he talked about all these grand ventures that he had movies coming out. There's a jet ski. He was going to the moon with Elon Musk. He was doing everything. Yeah. Where that 800 at, son? Real bosses, they typically got 800 to pay off that bill. But
he may have had it. He may, so we don't know.
That man ain't got that 800,000. That man ain't got that money. If he had that money, nobody sells something that can make money for the rest of their life. They can. Or maybe, but then again, now that I'm thinking about it, say that, he may, because he know what's getting ready to happen to it in 35 years. He might be saying, this is my opportunity to make money off it, because in 5 years, 6 years, I ain't going to be able to make nothing off it.
Because he can't do nothing with it now unless Jay and them vote on it anyway. So he might have it. It might be a strategic move, but I just have a problem a lot of times with celebrities who who crap on regular people, regular jobs, people who got bosses. Because if you're a business owner, man, you a slave to time. You a slave to things too. And I just hate it when I see people up here take a crap on people down there.
Yeah, and everybody got to answer to somebody in
Yes.
some shape, form, or fashion. Even Elon Musk, when he bought Twitter, he borrowed the money from investors against his shares
Yep.
in Tesla. So he is beholden to those people that he borrowed that money from. And he got $100 billion, but he still got the answer to them people.
Yeah.
He got a board of directors that he got to answer to. Bill Gates got to answer to his board of directors. Everybody got to answer to somebody. So when you preach this sermon as if you at some level to where you don't have to answer to nobody, that's a lie. You preaching a fantasy for real.
Yeah.
And then, we got to be our own paparazzi. People only support your success when they already perceive you to be successful. Now, when I first came to Atlanta, and I came from Columbia, South Carolina, I was one of the hosts down there for 5 years. All these comments came through these headlines. When I came to Atlanta, I thought these dudes were millionaires.
Yeah.
And then I get here, hey dog, can I hold $30? Like, dude, you killing my dream. Like, what are you doing?
That's his a dream.
But it said folks ain't got money like you think they got money.
That's another thing. It's like I remember when Chris Rock did the interview, and he said that about the entertainment industry. What people think you make and what you actually make, them ain't the same thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing with Dame. I think he able to preach these sermons to people who don't know no better. People who not in the industry, who not in the music industry, who don't know how numbers work. Like I remember when Monique was talking about the whole Netflix thing, and she was giving out numbers, and I was like, that ain't how that work for real, because we in the industry, so we know how the numbers work. We know how a Netflix determines your worth as a stand-up comic and yada yada yada. And I think that's what Dame does. I think he preaches to people like that's gonna attaboy him.
Yeah.
They just gonna support his bull.
So let me ask you this. Do you think there was any validity in what he was saying on the Breakfast Club about being a boss and like all those types of things?
Everybody can't be a boss. I know a young man right now is aspiring to be an entrepreneur, and it's not working. No one will ever tell him to give up, but he got health issues. They ain't got no health insurance. It's like stupid stuff. Everybody can't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Life is life. Life be lifing. Life be lifing. And I just I think trades jobs and people supervisors and people working at the post office, those are important. Those are essential people, and it's honorable work. So I just don't like when I see people do that.
Yeah, and some people may just really like what they do. Like some people like working a job.
Yeah, some people
like
do woodwork, make little figurines. He like it.
And like I love comedy. If I could do comedy for free, I would.
Yeah.
But I know I provide a valuable service, so
Yeah.
I think I deserve to get paid for that.
Yeah.
But if I could pay, if I hit the lottery tomorrow, bills and money was no problem, I still will be on stage.
I'm still gonna be on stage.
I'm still gonna be there. I'm still doing shows. I'm still gonna hit the road.
Yeah.
All the little grunt stuff now. Now I ain't driving nowhere. I got somebody gonna drive me.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying. But I'm still
probably-
going to do the little small spots because I love what I do.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the money.
Yeah, and that's what we heard Envy saying too, as he was going back and forth
Yeah.
with Dame. Is like, I love what I do. I would do it for free, and my kids are good. But go ahead. No, go
No, I
ahead.
would say it's this notion, man. That's under right below the surface notion in this country. If people have money, they better. They not.
That's true.
Character still matters. Other stuff still matter. You know what I'm saying? Empathy. We put too much emphasis on what somebody else got. You know what I'm saying?
And I feel like the world glamorizes entrepreneurship so much that like you can have all this. Like I know people with money that have worked hard, but they're tired. Like the way they look, the way they handle, like the way they operate in life is like I don't want that. So everybody doesn't desire to put in that extra work, and that's okay. We need workers. We need some. Heck, when COVID happened, we needed people working at the grocery store.
Exactly. And then when you go in business, they make it seem like you go into business January 1. And next thing you know, by the end of the year, you balling out. No, homie.
More money, more problems. I mean, a lot of people that's rich are miserable.
And you
Those are
probably ain't
miserable
getting no
people.
money. 90% of businesses fail in the first 2 years.
Yep.
So this idea that you're gonna get in business and be your own boss, make all your money and all this, nah.
It doesn't work.
It don't always work out that way.
So let's look at some of these, some more that's in the article that kind of pans out this lawsuit. So the auction is set for August 29th at the Midtown Manhattan Hotel. It requires a minimum bid of $1.2 million and a $240,000 deposit to participate. Now this sale is for Dame Dash stake in Roca-Fella Inc., whose primary asset is Jay-Z's debut album, Reasonable Doubt. Other music from Roca-Fella, which ceased operations in 2013, is owned by other entities and not included in this particular sale. Now, additionally, there's also an expiration date on the master ownership for the company, which means revenue and only the asset doesn't have many years left. This likely refers to Jay-Z's right to reclaim the album rights. He can do so 35 years after its release in 1996, which means by 2031 it's going to go back to Jay-Z anyway. So, you know, all that pretty much just saying this time frame of whoever buys it's not really much that they can do because they only get 1/3 of it. So they still have to, like, you know, vote. Jay-Z, them, you know, they own the other 2/3. So you don't really have a lot of power here. Let me come to you. Were you surprised to see this kind of pan out the way that it has?
Yeah, I actually am. I'm not full transparency, I'm not a Dame Dash fan at all. I'm not. And I'm not a Dame Dash fan because Dame is, and I've said this before, I think Dame is a relationship killer. He does not talk from a perspective of building relationships and building bridges and forming unities to grow. And in businesses, once you get to a certain level in business, it's about relationships. It's about relationships. If you're selling t-shirts in your car, you don't need relationships. But once you want to start selling t-shirts in Macy's or wherever, you got to maintain relationships with the buyers. It's about relationships. Dame destroys relationships. He's beefing with everybody. Don't even got a good relationship with his kids.
Yeah.
He's a relationship killer.
And everybody ain't lying. I'm a fan. Everybody ain't lying. This is what kills me about people. People doing me wrong. No, you got 2, 3, 4, 5 people who say got the same gripe about you, who have nothing to do with each other. That's some truth in that.
Right.
Everybody ain't lying, man. Everybody ain't lying.
Were you surprised to see this pan out the way, you know, the way that we are seeing it pan out?
Yeah, I wish it wouldn't. You know, I wish we would be seeing Dame right beside Jay at the top, you know, being a billionaire. I wish that, you know, Reasonable Doubt, one of my favorite albums of all time. So, but, you know, you can't be an asshole all the time. You got to dial it down sometimes. Folks put on their asshole suits and wear it all day. You're supposed to keep the asshole suit to Trump. You put it on, break in case of trouble. You got to, you know what I'm saying? Some folks put the asshole suit on and just walk around regular all day.
At church,
yeah, church everywhere. You can't have the asshole suit on all the time and then think folks going to be drawn to you. They won't.
Yeah. No, and I think we're kind of seeing these things unfold. So, you know, as it continues, we get closer to August 29th, which is not too far. It seems like the months are just flying by. I guess we'll see if somebody buys it, what's exactly happening. Jay-Z, it was reported that Jay-Z, they did try to stop it ahead of time, but they weren't successful in doing so. So we'll kind of see how this pans out.
It'd be hilarious if Envy bought it.
Stop it.
How hilarious would that be?
That would be hilarious.
If Envy
Plant
bought
that
this
seed.
share.
You know, people were surprised how quiet Envy was.
That's what I'm saying. If he bought it just on some boss,
Who's the boss
who
now?
the boss now type
Yeah,
that would be.
We're looking at $1.2 million. He has to just put down a $240,000 deposit. He has the relationships to do so.
See what I'm saying?
That'd be crazy.
Oh my God! That
If
would
it
be
happens,
hilarious.
I'm coming to you, Lab. Like, laugh. You know,
I'm
put
gonna
it in
be
the-
giggling.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be giggling
It's
if
gonna be
he now owns that part of Reasonable Doubt and
That'd
just
be crazy.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
They were too quiet. They were too
Yeah,
quiet. Like
man.
for him and Dame to be going back and forth the way that they do, and how Envy was just like they just reported and kind of moved on.
Yeah.
I don't know. He might be working on something. Maybe you got something. Who knows?
He already got the check in his back pocket. He
We're going to lay it down like Big Joker.
Yeah.
Bam!
Well, as always, I appreciate you both for chiming in on this topic. Lab, I'll start with you. What do you have coming up? And of course, how can people follow you? By the way, I love your outfit. It's perfect for the Olympics.
Hey,
But he ain't in the Olympics, though. I don't understand.
Hey, but you're
it's
not gonna hate.
it's the energy.
I wear this when I watch the Olympics. It make me feel like I'm on the team right there. It's right there. And then when it started to get good, I lean towards the TV like I'm crossing the finish line. So y'all not gonna hate. Y'all not gonna hate.
I like it.
No, I ain't paying Marvin no attention. Dame said, "Don't listen to other men." That's what Dame said. That's what Dame said. Yeah, so I got independent film. We still filming that. I'll be in town this weekend. It's a club called Monticello's. So if you in the Atlanta area this weekend, come hang out with me at Monticello's. And then next week I'm at Norfolk State. I got a show at Norfolk State, University of Norfolk State.
Awesome. And how can people follow you on social media?
Comedian Lab Love. Lab Love is LAVLUV. Comedian Lab Love. No matter what platform you're on, it's the exact same thing, including the website. Follow me.
Last and certainly not least, Marvin, what do you have coming up? How can people
Still
follow
out here on this road, man. Still out here on this road. I travel with Ricky Smiley. I also travel and do my own thing. Remember October the 19th, my special, my first hour special will be shot.
Absolutely. Well, as always, I appreciate you both for chiming in on this topic. But you heard from us. Now we want to hear from you in the comments below. What are your thoughts on the sale of Dame Dash's stake of Roc-A-Fella Records? For Comedy Hype News, I'm Tiffany Thompson.
Did y'all enjoy that? We got so much more for you at hypersclub.com. Our exclusive interviews and backstage content gives you the chance to feel a part of the club. Come on and join.